happy. Don't worry, be happy. You got no place to lay your head.
Hello, Alexander.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Just fantastic.
Very happy.
Yes, after this conference I have to be.
It was a great conference.
So glad you liked
I'm
it.
so happy that I learned a lot from Danish Chief Officer of Happiness.
Wonderful.
And I want to share all these things with the Moroccans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
What makes Danish people happy? What are the secrets?
Well, one of the secrets is that we're very happy at work, right? And we have the highest levels of happiness at work in the world. Yeah, and the reason for that, I think there are three main reasons for that. One is that the Danish management style is very open and inclusive. So if you're a manager in Denmark, you don't tell your people what to do, you include them in decisions. So people feel like they have responsibility, they have autonomy, they have freedom in their work, and that is one reason. Another reason why Danes are very happy at work is that we have great workplace relationships. So in a Danish workplace, you can be yourself, and you have good friends among your coworkers, and you have good relationship with the people you work with, and that also makes us happy at work. And I think the third main reason is that in Denmark we just focus a lot on happiness at work. It's something you expect. It's as a Dane, when you get a job, you fully expect to be happy at work. You expect to have a job you enjoy, interesting tasks, nice coworkers, good management. And if you don't have that, you feel like there's something wrong. And also Danish workplaces have been focusing on creating happiness at work for at least the last 30 or 40 years. It's something every Danish workplace tries to do. Mm-hmm. So those are the reasons why Danes are the happiest people at work in the world.
Oh, great. Just looking at you, I'm very happy.
Thank you.
So, what do you advise CEO to do for their co-workers? You know, they are very, very busy.
Yeah.
They have a lot of committee, and what they can do?
I think the most important thing the CEO can do is to take happiness seriously. We know, and this is not fluff, this is not soft, right? We know that happy companies make more money. So if you want your company to be profitable and grow, probably the best thing you can do is make sure that your employees are happy. Because when employees are happy, they do a better job. They stay with the company longer, so you have lower employee turnover and lower recruitment costs. You have lower absenteeism rates because people are less sick. People are more productive, more innovative. And when the employees are happy, they make the customers happy. So you have higher customer loyalty, which also makes you more money. So that's sort of my number one tip for CEOs is to realize that happiness at work is not soft, it's not naive, it's not idealistic. It may be the number one success factor for a modern workplace, and happy workplaces make more money. The second tip I would give CEOs is to be happy themselves and show it. We know that happiness at work is contagious. Emotions are contagious in general. And if people see the CEO being happy and friendly and cheerful and optimistic, that affects everybody in the organization. On the other hand, if people see the CEO being, angry or defensive or disrespectful, that has a very negative effect on everybody. And the final thing, my final advice for CEOs everywhere is to know, you have to know what it is that makes people happy at work. And it's not about compensation or bonuses, it's not about perks like massages in the office or all that stuff. None of that actually makes us happy at work. In our model, if we look at the research, when we look at the science, it comes down to results and relationships. So, helping people do a great job, tell your employees they do a great job, give them praise and recognition, and make sure that people have great workplace relationships so people feel like they belong in the workplace. And if as a CEO you do that, you can create a really happy workplace, and that will make the company more profitable.
Yeah, that's interesting. And what about millennials?
Yeah, and millennials
It's hard to make them happy.
Well, people say that, and I disagree. Millennials, just like everybody else, want results in relationships. They want a feeling like they do good work, they want recognition for the work they do, and they want to feel like they're valued as people. And I know that a lot of people say, millennials want meaningful work, and they want praise and recognition, and they want to be valued as people. Why are they so spoiled? What's wrong with them? And my question is, what is wrong with everybody else? Since we don't want those things, everybody should want meaningful work and praise and recognition. So if you have a lot of millennial employees, and more workplaces do, you got to focus on results and relationships. Help your young employees do great work. Tell them that they do great work. Value them as people. Show them that they have a bright future ahead of them in your workplace, and they will stick around longer. They may not stick around forever, but they will stick around longer, and they will do much better work in your workplace.
Yeah, interesting. So you talked about professional life, and what about personal life? How we can be happy?
Well, in my opinion, it still comes back to results and relationships. If you want to be happy in your personal life, it's about having a life where you have great relationships. So you have friends, family, people around you who love you and who you love. We know that is a huge factor. But also having a life where you make a difference, where you work for in your spare time. Maybe you do some volunteer work for a charity, or some benefits work. Maybe you work at a local sports club. Maybe you train or coach. Maybe you coach your kids and their friends in a sport or whatever, right? But you make some contribution to the society around you. You're not just living for yourself. I think that, in my opinion, is the secret to a happy life. If you're just living for your own happiness, whatever happiness you do obtain will ultimately be empty and meaningless, and it won't make you happy.
Nice. And can we be happy all the time?
No,
Like Danish.
Heck no, and the Danish are not happy all the time either. No, heck no. I mean, life has ups and downs, and that's perfectly normal. And happiness is not about being ridiculously happy all the time, and nobody can do that, right? It's about being authentic. I'd say it's about feeling whatever you feel in the moment, and then it's about trying to create a life where you have as much happiness as possible, without expecting to be perfectly happy every second of every day. That would be a horrible expectation to have. Nobody can do that. But maybe you can create a little bit more happiness for yourself and the people around you, and that's really all it's about.
Okay. And what about Danish? How they do? Is it something innate in their culture?
No, I don't think it is. If you look at what makes Danes happy in society, according to the UN World Happiness Report, one of the reasons is certainly that we have a fairly stable society and fairly safe, which takes away a lot of unhappiness, right? So in Denmark, we have free healthcare, free education, free universities. We have excellent and well-functioning society, and that takes away a lot of fear and stress. So that makes people happier. We also have very high levels of trust. So very high levels of trust in each other, and very high levels of trust in government institutions like the court system or politicians or the police, and that also makes life easier and happier. So those are some of the main factors in Danish society that make us happier in life.
Great. That's the basics.
It's very fundamental, and it's something that we've focused on creating in Danish society for the last 40 years, I'd say, since the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That makes you very famous in the world.
Yeah, everybody knows that Denmark is a happy country. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what are your habits, morning routines? What do you do?
I don't have a lot of morning routines. I get up, brush my teeth, have a shower, and go to work. No, I don't know. I don't have any specific morning. I don't have any specific happiness routines. That's not how I become happy. No. I try to spend time with friends regularly. I enjoy my work a lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. And those are the main things that make me happy.
And how do you do to have this energy? Although you are tired, you work
Yeah,
very
yeah,
hard
yeah,
for
yeah,
3
yeah,
days. How do you do to stay like this?
it's all fake. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm lucky. I've always been this way. I think I was born with annoyingly high energy.
Nice. Nice. That makes
Yeah.
you.
Also, exercise. Exercise is very
Yeah.
important.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Like what?
I do CrossFit because I love CrossFit. But exercise for me is very important and makes me happy. That and coffee. Lots of coffee.
Oh, lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So, what do you suggest for education for the next generation?
I think one thing we got to focus on is making education is making education more open. Right now, the model of schooling in most of countries is sit down, shut up, and learn, listen and learn,
And a
I
lot
think-
of homework.
and a lot of homework. And I think we need to get rid of homework, in my opinion. And I think we need to create schools that are much more about teaching students to be independent, to think for themselves, to have critical minds, and to be happy.
Awesome. And what about the chief officer of happiness?
Yeah.
How we can be a good chief officer of happiness? Is there any criteria or?
There are a couple of criteria. First of all, you have to have a passion for happiness. So you have to care deeply about your own happiness at work and that of other people. I think you have to be a brave person because you're putting yourself out there and you're doing something that's a little bit different. And finally, I think you need a high level of empathy and a high level, a good ability to sense how other people are doing, so that you know if the things you're doing are actually working. I think that's what you need as a chief happiness officer. Yeah.
And what about positive psychology?
Oh, it's a fascinating
How it
field.
does contribute
The-
to your growth?
Positive psychology is one of the main foundations of our work because it is the research into what makes us happy. Very evidence-based, very research-based, and so many fascinating findings from positive psychology. Love it.
What did you learn from positive psychology?
I think my favorite finding from positive psychology is that if you want to be happy yourself, the most effective thing you can do is make somebody else happy. Don't focus so much on yourself. Happiness is a social construct, something we do together.
Yeah. And when you are at work, so how you work with your colleagues? You are the boss, so
No, I'm not. I'm a
you are
terrible
the
boss.
founder.
Yeah, I am the
Yeah.
founder, but I'm not the boss.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the boss. I'm not the boss. I'm a terrible boss. So the way we work together is that we all try to do the things we're good at. So I do the things I love and that I'm good at, and I let other people do the things they're good at. And I think that is much more effective than trying to be the boss and telling everybody what to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the model for you is not to do a boss, but to work with others in the same.
In a much more democratic way. I much prefer that.
I think most of the Danish companies they work like this.
Yes, it's very typical in Denmark.
And what about the conservatives?
In-
Conservative CEO who are in pyramidal
I hope they.
programs.
The CEOs who like to be the boss and who like to give orders,
Yeah.
I hope they all get old and retire soon.
What about CEO who don't believe in happiness?
My
Results, only
Yeah.
results. How can we change their mind?
well, some people we can't change. Sometimes some people don't want to change their minds, and if you work for a CEO like that, I say the best thing to do is get out, quit, get away from the workplace, and go to a workplace where they actually want you to be happy. Otherwise, you can make the case to the CEO and say, here's the research showing that happy companies make more money. Here's the research showing how to do it. Why don't we do it? And if they say yes, awesome, do it. And if they say no, happiness is stupid, quit, go work somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a hard thing.
Not an easy choice.
Yeah, it's really, especially it's about the ego. So how you can talk to CEO about this and
Yeah, but you can very clearly show that this will actually benefit the business.
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
My
Alexander.
pleasure.
It was great talking to you. And thanks
Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head.